The idea is simple. You create your UI in GUI Designer and then you can get your PySimpleGUI layout. Rules. Float layouts are not allowed. Every element must be in grid layout or box layout, horizontal or vertical. Only these three layouts are allowed. You would think that those three layouts are not enough for your UI, but in reality it's enough. Reason is PySimpleGUI philosophy. The whole design must be created by dividing your layout into rows, which is explained in PySimpleGUI documentation. Number 2. You can nest layouts. Number 3. Empty spots in the grid layout will be replaced with empty text label. I think I will add an option to what does empty widget means, because it can mean, for example, spacer. Alright, the tutorial itself. This tab widget is for examples. Here you can see every control element that I provide right now for parsing. Example of valid and invalid group box and queue frames. The first two they don't have layout in them. A regular box layout and a grid layout. And there is big example for nested layouts. Let me show you. Some elements in the queue grid layout can span across multiple columns, like this element. It will parse them normally. So what do you need to parse an element? Basically you will have some container, grid, box, queue group box or queue frame. Then you drag and drop normal widgets like buttons, labels, spin boxes and so on. After this you copy them into a group box. And in the group box you click grid layout and it will automatically correct the position of your widgets. Same thing with queue frame. Click up here or click Ctrl 3 and you will get grid layout in your queue frame. Well, that's easy. Let's copy this and I will show you another way. Select group box and click break layout. You can use vertical and horizontal box layouts. Here I create horizontal rows for my layout. Keep in mind that even if you have only one element, like this button, you still have to place it in a horizontal box layout. Then select this group box, choose vertical layout and you'll get the result. The same applies to queue frame. You can also use pure containers like pure grid or pure vertical box. Almost the same thing. Now, these two containers, they have a layout name, and group boxes with queue frame, they have object name. This is equivalent of ID or class attribute in HTML tags. Here I show how to nest grid layout and also how to nest vertical layout. Drag queue frame, drag your layout in it and place it up here. So you made all of this, gave object name to your layout, then paste this object name over here and give absolute or a relative path to your file. Let's pick group box underscore 3, compile, it will produce the layouts. You can delete this, click try and you will get the PySimpleGUI demo. You can also click compile++. It will parse all the keys, yeah, and create events for them, even for frame or only for mouse clicks. See the only mouse, or you can just compile. Then you can try this ELC and it will compile, but those last three elements I cannot parse right now. So time, date and date time. Also double spin box. So if I uncheck this and try to compile, it will give me an error. So I want to forget bad widgets. That's the whole idea. Yeah, and clear. Oh, one more thing. For radio boxes, you can type a radio group in tooltip for radio buttons. The first two radio buttons have a Q1 group, and other two have a Q2 group. Then if you compile it, you can copy this and edit this UI in your text editor. That's the whole idea. You can give some specific keyword arguments or do whatever you want with this object.